Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to give my thoughts on Joker 2. Like, I saw it at the weekend, and I'm telling you guys, like, I'm really open-minded when it comes to movies. Like, I'm someone who, some movies that you wouldn't expect me to enjoy, I really enjoyed. Titanic, I thought was fantastic. This movie, though, was just absolutely, it was awful. It was awful. Like, I've never walked out of a movie before. I didn't walk out of Joker 2, but I'm telling you, I was tempted. I just didn't. So first of all, it's basically a musical. The first movie was very serious. Most of you guys, I'm guessing some of you have seen the first one. It was a very serious movie, quite depressing at times, but for the most part, I thought it was quite a good movie. It was a real sort of believable backstory for how a villain like the Joker could come to be. Like, the Joker's obviously Batman's, arch nemesis, completely psychotic, and you believe it. You think, oh my God, okay, so this is what he went through. I understand. Whereas this, it was just, it's almost like it did everything. The director, I think, did everything he could. I'm trying not to give any spoilers away. Like, did everything he could to, like, or she, I don't know who directed it. I left before the credits started. Like, to separate it from the first movie. It was just so bad. I don't understand why they thought a musical would be a good idea. Like, they sing for about 70% of the movie. The Joker, that's not what the Joker's about. But yeah, I'm desperate to find out if other people agree with my outlook on it, whether I'm being, harsh with it. I don't think I am. Like, the IMDb score's pretty horrible right now. I think it's like a 5 point something. I just don't know why they bodged it so much.
More like Joker Folia doo-doo. Joker 2 is getting some pretty bad reviews. So here's another one. Normally, I don't look at reviews before I see something I plan to make a quickie on. I don't like my opinion being manipulated. But this one was kind of hard to avoid. Finding someone who actually likes this movie is like trying to find a shiny Pokemon while playing Fortnite. But even so, I tried going into this with an open mind. And I did see that it wasn't as bad as I expected. I mean, the opening scene was pretty good. But that's it, folks. That's all I got. After watching Joker 1, a movie that I liked when I saw it, I was hoping that any sequels would take this version of the character in a different direction.
It didn't even need a sequel, if I'm honest with you. Joker 1 was a great standalone movie. We see the Joker's, childhood, the horrible things he goes through. That's enough. Like, we don't need why did we need a Joker 2?
But when I saw the trailer, I thought, okay, it's not just going to be entirely set in Arkham, right? And yeah, I'm sorry. This movie is literally only set in two places, Arkham and the courthouse.
Courtroom. Yeah.
As such, the film's entire purpose is to remind us what happened in Joker 1. Most of the scenes are of Joker reflecting on what he did in the first movie, or having other characters in the courtroom tell him what he did in the first movie.
I just don't understand how the director and the producers could have watched that and thought, yeah, this is a great movie. This is going to make $1 billion like the first one did. Like, did they do any screen testing? Because usually they do screen testing before they release a movie where they get like 100 people to give their opinion on it and then they can make changes. Did they not do any of that?
And the scenes that aren't revolving around that are just featuring the Joker and Harley singing old licensed music. And personally, I'm not against musicals like some people are. I like musicals. If the music is good. Yes. Musicals work when the songs cleverly reveal to the audience what the characters are thinking and feeling. We might get insight that we didn't have before. And when the characters are singing original songs, we get to hear good music that we haven't heard before. But none of that is on display here. Joker and Harley only sing when we know exactly how they feel, and they only sing about exactly how they're feeling.
It's so weird, honestly. It's hard. You need to watch it. Like, guys, let me know if you've watched it. Like, you guys know what I mean. It's just a very weird movie.
On top of that, they only sing songs that we've already heard before. Out of the dozen or so songs we hear, I think one was a Gaga original.
Ugh.
I don't get anything out of a movie where the characters are just fucking around and singing show tunes. There's really no narrative benefit to having Joker and Harley sing like 10 songs about how much they fucking like each other. When I heard that this movie was going to be a musical, I was actually pretty interested because that sounded like a unique, fun idea. But the songs do not do anything to
They add nothing to the story.
The storyline at all. That's really all the movie is. Joker's sad, then Harley shows up, and then they sing a song about being in love.
It kind of, I feel like they made this movie with like ChatGPT. They said they probably typed in ChatGPT, give me 5 totally random ideas for a Joker sequel. Like,
and that happens like 6 times, and then the movie ends. It might be the laziest way to create a Joker and Harley story.
Yeah,
and I like that the first Joker movie had a lot of moving parts in it. It wasn't just, look at this guy, isn't he crazy? The film kept you engaged with varying story beats that converge into a decently serviceable ending. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the first one was hard to watch. It was a good movie, but hard to watch. You guys know what I mean? Like the whole girlfriend and she's not real, and oh god, that was hard.
Yeah, it took a lot of those parts from other more successful and better movies, but to me it was clearly paying homage. I don't subscribe to the idea that it's just ripping off Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy. I mean, the main actor from those movies is a main character of the film, so to me, it's clearly an homage, so I don't mind it as much. But when you get to this movie, you're left with what Todd Phillips can make when he doesn't have anything to reference. You're left with what the original movie could have been if it didn't have anything going for it. A movie that only serves to show us, wow, look at this guy. Isn't he crazy? I think every film enjoyer such as myself has had an experience where you watched a movie in a theater, a film that was probably a little high concept, but you liked it anyway. And when you walk out of the theater...
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a movie that was high concept that I still enjoyed. Oh, good. Nightmare Alley was really good with Bradley Cooper. Great movie. If you haven't seen that, really recommend it.
You hear the normal movie-going audience reaction, and they don't get it like you do, which is fine. But you might hear someone say this phrase, "What was even the point of that movie?"
Yeah.
And I hate this sentence. It is one of my least favorite sentences in the English language.
But it applies to this one. You don't get anything out of it. The only thing you really get out of it is, you know, the Joker and Gaga. Like, that's it. Okay, they're a couple. They like each other. That's it. That's the only sort of main bit of new information you get.
Right next to what are we doing for dinner? And of course, there's also...
An ally has been slain.
What's the point of anything you watch? To entertain you, educate you, show you something unique and transformative.
Where's this from?
Saying, what's the point of this, is such a generic and empty way to say, I didn't get that movie, so it must be the movie's fault. I hate that phrase so fucking much. So it really takes a lot for me to admit that when I walked out of Joker 2, I said... What was even the fucking point of that movie? It shows us nothing new about the character. It introduces us to a Harley who we've seen better iterations of in just about every film or
Agree. Margot Robbie was a much better Harley Quinn. Much better.
show featuring her. And it literally only serves to remind us of what happened in the last movie. The ending is just a backhanded attempt to keep things in line with the regular DC universe, but it's done in a way that will probably just offend most people. It is very, very difficult to enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
It's not funny bad. It's not even mildly entertaining. It's just really boring. If you've seen a trailer for this film, you probably get the idea.
The only good movies, this year's really been sort of like a barren wasteland for movies. The only good movies I've seen this year that I enjoyed were Bad Boys 4, Dune Part 2. Oh my God, that might be it. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I've seen this year? I haven't watched Deadpool. A friend of mine that I trust his opinion told me it wasn't that great. Maybe I should. Like, should I watch Deadpool, guys?
You can skip it. The performances are decent. Gaga can sing real well, but that's it. The actual content of the narrative is so bad that I cannot fathom watching this movie again. For me, the worst kind of superhero movie is one where it's not even bad enough for me to make a worst superhero movies video.
And it's not even really a superhero movie. There was no real reference, apart from the Joker and Harley Quinn. The way the movie is shot and, you know, the content of the movie, you wouldn't think it was a superhero movie. Like, you know, like if you watch a Batman movie and Batman is, you know, let's say he never wears his costume. He always looks like Bruce Wayne. With the actions and the scenes and stuff, you can still tell it's a superhero movie. This one, there's no real, it feels more like just a musical, a bad musical that they just made a movie.
Thanks for wasting my time, Todd. So 3 out of 10. Go see Transformers instead. Yeah, guess what, baby? This is a double quickie. But I don't have a lot to say about Transformers, and I didn't even put it in the thumbnail or the title
I've heard
because
this
my
is
double
good.
quickies never do as well, and I need to trick you little fuckers into watching this movie. Transformers 1 is actually really good. The characterization is fresh. I love that we get to see a version.
I have heard this is quite good, to be fair. Maybe I should see it. What's the IMDb for Joker? Joker Foliado? Is that what it's called? Oh, God. IMDb. Last time I checked, it was like a 5. What is it now? Yeah, still a 5.3. That's terrible. That is terrible. What was the budget? The budget for this must have been absolutely huge. Wiki. Usually the budget's on the Wikipedia. It's usually on the right-hand side. 200 million. So that's the production budget. But what's the marketing budget? Marketing budget. Mega budget. Okay. So how much was the marketing budget? So it's only made $38 million on its opening weekend. And the opening weekend is usually the biggest weekend for a movie. This movie might not make 100 million. It might not make 100 million. So where's the marketing? Okay. So yeah, it cost $200 million. So the first one cost $65 million. How did this one cost $200 million? I just don't get it. Like, where's the market? Because there's no special effects. Like, no way. 450 million to break even. So they're saying, so according to this, they're saying that the marketing budget was more than the actual production budget. Why did it cost so much? But yeah, I just don't understand why it's cost so much. So unlike its predecessor, which leaned into psychological drama, intense character study, Jolie Foliadio incorporates musical numbers. This significantly adds to the production costs. How does it add to the production costs? It's just people singing and people playing instruments, as musicals require intricate choreography, set design, and extensive rehearsals to ensure sequences are well executed. It is a waste of money. Waste of money. Another factor driving up the budget is the talent involved. I'm sorry. So how much Joker needs for a box office success? A general rule in Hollywood suggests that a movie needs to make roughly double its production budget at the domestic box office to break even. This is because the production budget doesn't account for other costs like marketing and distribution, which is true, which often add substantial expenses. For Joker Folie Dieu, this means the film needs to generate at least $400 million. It's not happening. It's not happening. Let's go back here. So Joker Wiki, Joker 2 Wiki. It's made like 40 million. It's just not going to get anywhere close. So Joker 2 box office. I mean, because now it's Wednesday, so how much has it made so far? How much has Joker 2 made so far? Can we get an up-to-date ticker? Yeah, massive box office failure. We know. 39 million. Yes, we know that. But yeah, it's likely. How much is Joker 2 likely to make? It's going to be a box office bust for sure. So, okay, so the studio's projection on Sunday was 81 million internationally. Yikes. Globally, Joker 2 has earned 114 million to date, but the Warner Brothers film will need to keep singing to get anywhere near the foreign receipts of its presence. It's not going to get there. I just don't know why they didn't make it like the first one. A total bust. It's going to completely flop and lose them a lot of money. You know, for me, my favorite types of movies are sci-fi movies, by far. Sci-fi, then a good sort of horror movie, then maybe just straight up action movie, a good drama. I don't mind. I like a good story. This one just had neither. It had none of those. It was, did they screen test? I just don't believe that they screen tested for this movie. Let me quickly look it up, guys. Hold on a second. So give me a second. Did they screen test Joker 2? They can't have. Todd Phillips refused to test screen Joker 2. So its premiere in Venice marked the first time an audience saw it. Honestly, Todd Phillips, based on that, should never... I wouldn't hire him again. Because he could have saved the studio hundreds of millions of dollars if he screen tested and then made changes. Just film a few more action scenes, get rid of some of the songs. Like, oh man, he's lost them a ton of money. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoy my videos, please help me out by liking and subscribing.